Oh, Guiding Sight. We haven't seen this thing in a while. It's coming back as Strand, which is nice. And I figure with Trials gone for the week, Iron Banner being up, people just waiting on raid teams, no Trials to do, some of you might find your way into the Iron Banner. And we have a, I quote here, new weapon. Let's talk about it. In some aspects, it's kind of spicy. In others, not so much. We had it in Season 1, came back in Season 12, now in Season 22. Being Strand is a selling point. It definitely has some roles for some of you out there. It has hatchling, unlike a certain Strand hand cannon that's craftable that should have had hatchling. But a lot of this is going to come down to what you have and if you will use it. I will show you the synergy, what to look for. For me personally, it's a hard sell. So let's get into it. Breaking news, it seems to have went from a weapon owned by the Iron Lords with the Iron Banner sigil to have been bought out under our noses by Nadir, the new foundry. Maybe some sketchy things went on, maybe some insider trading, we'll never know. But this is now a Nadir weapon. The origin trait, sustained fire increases accuracy and range. An accuracy boost is always a good thing on any Destiny weapon, even if it is a scout. Skulking Wolf is there, PvP perk, while low health Guardian Final Blows gain enhanced radar and remove you from opposing radar, similar to how Invisible works on Hunter. Here's what they did. Our Strand inventory has grown to 34 total weapons, 3 exotics. So they rounded it out. We have the high impact Guiding Sight, the 180 Glissando, the 200 Taraxipos, and then the rapid fire 260 Fang of your Yote. So we have them all. I'm going to set some borders here, some guidelines a little bit of who this thing is for. 1, it's players that just didn't get a good Taraxipos. And with that 2, players that don't have a good long-range Strand weapon in general, this can fill that role. 3, players that don't have a high-impact scout with kill clip, mainly Transfiguration. Or 4, players that just want to mess around with Cascade Point, and we're going to get into that. I'm telling you right now, as far as PvE, the Fang of Iryut is going to reign supreme. It just is because the origin trait. That's going to be another review for another day. You have your Strand capabilities at a distance, and when you melee something, you have the Cursed Thrall origin trait. To me, that just wins. But that isn't to say Guiding Sight isn't useless. Like I said, for the reasons I mentioned a second ago, and maybe some of you can't raid, or you miss some weapons, or you're new. So let's talk about that. The base stats are in line, inherently low handling, low stability. Got an aim assist of 30, zoom factor of 1.9 times. It actually comes in with a 75 recoil direction stat. That means it is vertical or close to vertical. After each shot, it's not bouncing left and right. In the third column, we have Enlightened Action. Dealing damage improves reload speed and handling. So this stacks to 5 times, and it's almost like Feeding Frenzy without the kills. It's pretty good. And it helps 2 of the weakest stats on the weapon, handling and reload. So this is a good option. Demolitionist in the third. This is also a good option. You get a kill, 10% of your grenade energy back, and it's got a slow reload. When you throw that grenade, it bypasses it. Just automatically refills the magazine. It's a great pick. Moving target. It's a PvP perk. Adding an aim assist, adding a faster scaler, tunnel vision, I would personally stay away. It is a good perk. It's adding accuracy, but these things are fairly accurate as scout rifles, and they're coded in such a way they are the longest weapons in the game, especially the high impacts. And it's got a painfully long reload to get into tunnel vision, so I would just hold off. We have perpetual motion. This is good for it, as long as you're mobile. And we'll talk about that in a moment. Max stacks is 20 stability, 20 handling, 20 reload. All of its low stats are helped out by perpetual motion. While yes, it is a high impact scout, you're usually laning a little bit, but it has a place. Gut shot straight. It allows you to 2 crit 1 body in the Crucible tier 3 and below, which isn't going to happen. Makes the body shot damage go to 48. The only thing you could do is to try to always be in Radiant. Tier 10 and under, it's a 2 crit 1 body for a 0.8. That is worth it. That's the only way it's worth it. So 4th column, Hatchling. Precision Final Blows create a Threadling. So this is from a distance. As a scout rifle, this is a good pick. Adrenaline Junkie. This pairs with Demolitionist. Always has, always will. Kill Clip has a lot of worth. 25% more damage for 5 seconds after a reload. And I actually got one of the rolls that I wanted, which was Demolitionist Kill Clip. That way I can put in more damage. I can get grenade energy a little bit easier. And what's so special about Kill Clip is that if you run it with Radiant, which you're seeing in some of the gameplay, you can 2-shot tier 6 and below for a 0.4 TTK. Or 1 crit 2 body on tier 7 to 10. And if you were to have something like Gut Shot Straight Kill Clip, you could 3 body tier 8 and below, while also still doing the 2 tap on tier 6 and below. So that's a really interesting combination. We have Encore. Would have loved for this to be in the 3rd column. It's a great perk, but it's got the competition of Hatchling, Kill Clip, Cascade Point, and Precision Instrument. Cascade Point, very interesting. I love it on Taraxipos, but there's a huge difference. When you get kills with other weapons and switch to it, you get a fire rate increase. The fire rate goes to 250 RPM, and it's a 0.48 TTK. Tier 10, you need 3 crits, very fast TTK. The main difference, and why it works so well with Taraxipos, the Taraxipos is a lightweight frame. Like, this one has 69 handling, and it can get higher. That time matters after you make that switch. The base 27 handling on this thing is a big difference with Cascade Point. It feels extremely sluggish. And that's why if you were to go with Cascade Point, you would want it with Perpetual Motion. That way you get up the stability, handling, and reload. Or just simply try to build in with Fluted, handling, masterwork, things like that. While it is fun, I did not like it. It is very potent. And the beautiful thing about this, I mean, really think about it. Cascade Point on Taraxipos, or in this case, Guiding Sight, what it really is you're running around with a deadly primary weapon such as a Shire's Wrath, other SMGs, mostly SMGs, or a sidearm. You're getting kills with those, and then with the Scout, when you switch to Cascade Point, you have a 0.48 at any distance. That's incredible. That's a good thing. But the stars have to align with Cascade Point on Guiding Sight for it to be worth your while. You need that handling stat up. We have a new perk, Precision Instrument, max of 6 stacks. Base damage is 70, goes to 73, 75, then 78. Well, 79. It's rounded to 79. You're not necessarily doing a TTK shift unless you go Radiant. You would go body crit crit. That downs any resilience. At max stacks, it's 25% more damage, so going into PvE, I mean, that's okay. There might be a situation where you're at a distance, you're just kind of chipping away at an enemy. That damage is going to come up. That damage is a good thing. But to me, I think the real winner for PvE is the long distance hatchling. The pairing perk is Enlightened Action or Demolitionist. Because it comes from the weapon, I'm like 90% sure that the Threadling Final Blows will proc demo. But even if not, getting your nade back is always a good thing in PvE. And there's your appeal. You're at a distance, you're chipping away targets, it's high impact, it's one-shotting a decent amount of the time. You have hatchling going off, you're getting your grenade back from complete safety. But with that said, again, it depends on if you can raid or not. Fang of Iryut has sword logic. It has hatchling. It has shoot to loot. It has the Cursed Thrall trait. It's just better. And as far as PvP, we have the Transfiguration with Rampage Kill Clip. That's why it's a hard sell for me, and that's why I'm not keeping any of mine. The only one that I would keep would be the Cascade Point, but I think that Taraxipos is just better because of the handling speed. I don't think Guiding Sight's worthless. I don't. I think it does have a lot of worth, but for most of us, it doesn't. The worth that it has are for the things that I mentioned. You don't have a long-distance strand weapon, or a good one. You can't raid, so you can't get Transfiguration, or Fang of Iryut. Maybe you don't have a strand scout because you weren't around to get Taraxipos. That's who this thing is for, really. And what Bungie did, again, they filled the class archetypes with Glissando, Fang, Taraxipos, Guiding Sight. They're all accounted for now. And for me personally, I'm going to be crafting Fang. It's going to be a great strand scout for what you want it for. I have an excellent crafted Transfiguration, and for Cascade Point, I have a ton of Taraxipos. And that isn't to say if I do get what I deem a perfect role for it, such as high handling, Perpetual Motion, Cascade Point. Yeah, I'll try it, but I still think Taraxipos just wins. It's a tough sell for most, but it is good for some, and I think you guys can see that. I'd love to know your thoughts, though. I'm trying to get some good rolls on the bow, and if you have the bow, what rolls are you liking? If you're new here, remember to hit the subscribe button, and if you are subscribed, thank you so much for your support. Let's talk about Guiding Sight down below, the new Nadir Foundry Iron Banner weapon. Anything in particular that you really enjoy, or is it just kind of not for you? Let's talk about it. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.